Hey everyone, welcome to the mysterious world. In the silent sands of Egypt, a timeless enigma gazes across the desert, guarding secrets older than the pharaohs themselves. In the shadows of the pyramids, a colossal figure looms. Its eyes have seen the rise and fall of empires, yet its story remains untold. Welcome to our exploration of one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt, the Great Sphinx of Giza. This monumental statue, with its enigmatic presence and rich history, has captivated the imagination of scholars and travelers for centuries. Standing guard on the Giza Plateau, the Great Sphinx is a majestic figure with the body of a lion and the head of a human. But what do we really know about this colossal statue, and what secrets does it hold? The original name given to the Sphinx by its Old Kingdom creators is unknown, as the structure was incomplete and lacked sufficient cultural material. In the New Kingdom, it was revered as Enigmatic, or Horus of the Horizon, as mentioned by Pharaoh Thutmose IV in his dream stele. The name Sphinx was later applied during classical antiquity, around 2,000 years after its construction, inspired by a Greek mythological creature. Medieval Arab writers referred to it by names derived from the Canaanite god Horus, while its modern Egyptian Arabic name, Abu al-Hal, translates to the Terrifying One. The Sphinx stands as Egypt's most ancient monumental sculpture and ranks among the world's most iconic statues. The Sphinx, a masterpiece of ancient engineering, was constructed during the reign of the pharaoh Khafre around 2500 BCE. Khafre, the builder of the second pyramid of Giza, is believed to have commissioned the Sphinx as part of his mortuary complex. The Sphinx was carved from a single block of limestone, originally quarried from the nearby ridge. Its location is strategic, positioned to face the rising sun. It serves as a sentinel over the Giza necropolis. The exact methods of the Sphinx's construction remain a subject of debate. However, it's generally agreed that ancient Egyptians used copper chisels and stone tools to shape the massive limestone block. The sculpture stands about 66 feet 20 meters high and 240 feet 73 meters long, making it one of the largest and oldest statues in the world. The Sphinx's face is believed to represent Pharaoh Khafre, who is depicted with a royal headdress and a serene expression. The lion's body symbolizes strength and power, attributes that the pharaoh wished to embody in his afterlife. Throughout history, the Great Sphinx has been surrounded by mysteries and theories. Some scholars speculate that the Sphinx's eroded face might not originally have been that of Khafre, but perhaps another figure entirely. The erosion patterns on the Sphinx have led some researchers to propose that the statue may be much older than previously thought, with some theories suggesting it could date back to the pre-dynastic period. The Sphinx also holds a special place in Egyptian mythology. It is often associated with the sun god Ra and was believed to possess divine powers. It was common for Egyptians to attribute mystical and protective qualities to such monumental statues. Over the millennia, the Sphinx has faced considerable weathering and damage. The statue has undergone several restoration efforts, beginning as early as the 15th century BC and continuing into modern times. These restorations are crucial in preserving the Sphinx for future generations. Modern conservation techniques, including the use of advanced technology to monitor and repair the statue, are helping to ensure the Sphinx's survival. These efforts are vital in protecting this irreplaceable symbol of ancient Egyptian civilization. The Great Sphinx of Giza continues to inspire awe and wonder around the world. Its image appears in countless films, books, and artworks symbolizing the grandeur of ancient Egypt. Historians and archaeologists from around the globe continue to study the Sphinx, unraveling new aspects of its history and significance. Each discovery adds another layer to the rich tapestry of its story. Archaeological evidence indicates that the Great Sphinx was likely carved around 2500 BC for Pharaoh Khafre, the builder of Giza's second pyramid. It is a monolith carved directly from the bedrock that served as the quarry for nearby pyramids and monuments. Egyptian geologist Farouk El-Baz suggested that the Sphinx's head may have been sculpted first from a natural rock formation, with the surrounding moat quarried later to create the body. The stones removed during this process were used to build a temple in front of the Sphinx, though the temple and enclosure were never fully completed, and there is little evidence of a Sphinx cult during the Old Kingdom. The construction of the Sphinx required alterations to the Kafr Valley Temple, indicating that the temple predated the Sphinx. The causeway connecting Kafr's pyramid and Valley Temple also likely existed before the Sphinx was planned. Over time, the Giza necropolis was abandoned, and the Sphinx was buried up to its shoulders by drifting sand. The first documented excavation occurred around 1400 BC when Thutmose IV dug out the front paws and erected a shrine with the dream stele, associating the Sphinx with Kafr. During the New Kingdom, the Sphinx became linked to the sun god Horemakhet, and Pharaoh Amenhotep II built a temple nearby dedicated to this cult. By the Greco-Roman period, Giza had become a tourist attraction, and Roman emperors visited the Sphinx. The monument was cleared of sand in the 1st century AD during Emperor Nero's reign, and a monumental stairway was constructed, later dismantled in the 1930–130 to excavations. The last emperor associated with the Sphinx was Septimius Severus around 200 AD, after which the monument was once again buried by sand. Throughout history, the Sphinx has been associated with various gods and myths. Some ancient non-Egyptians believed it represented the god Horon, while the Sabians of Harran viewed it as the burial site of Hermes Trismegistus. Arab writers described it as a talisman protecting the region from the desert, and the locals believed the Nile's flood cycle depended on it. Over the centuries, Western visitors described the Sphinx with a blend of science, romance, and mystique, often portraying it with feminine features. Early modern excavations, beginning in 1817, gradually uncovered more of the Sphinx, with significant contributions from explorers like Giovanni Battista Caviglia. In 1931, Egyptian government engineers undertook repairs on the Sphinx's head after part of its headdress had broken off in 1926 due to erosion, which had also significantly damaged its neck. The repair involved adding a concrete collar between the headdress and the neck, which altered the Sphinx's original profile. Later, extensive renovations were carried out on the stone base and the rock body during the 1980s, but these repairs were redone in the 1990s. An examination of the Sphinx's face reveals that long rods or chisels were hammered into the nose area, with one inserted from the bridge and another beneath the nostril, to pry the nose off towards the south. As a result, the Sphinx's nose, which was about a meter wide, remains lost to this day. Numerous folk tales have emerged to explain the missing nose, with one popular but false story attributing its destruction to cannonballs fired by Napoleon Bonaparte's army. However, this is disproven by drawings of the Sphinx by Frederick Louis Norden from 1737, which show the nose already missing well before Napoleon's arrival. Other accounts attribute the damage to iconoclastic attacks, with some 10th century Arab authors blaming the Mamluks in the 14th century. The 15th century Arab historian Al-Makrisk suggests that the Sphinx's nose was destroyed in 1378 by Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar, a Sufi Muslim from the Khanqa of Sa'd al-Su'ada. He reportedly defaced the Sphinx after seeing local peasants making offerings to it to improve their harvests. Al-Makrisk also mentions that many locals believed the increased sand covering the Giza plateau was divine retribution for this act of defacement. Additionally, al-Manufi later wrote that the Alexandrian Crusade in 1365 was a divine punishment for the same act by Muhammad Sa'im al-Dar. In addition to the missing nose, it's believed that the Sphinx originally had a ceremonial pharaonic beard, though this might have been added in later periods rather than during the initial construction. Egyptologist Vasil Dobrev has argued that if the beard had been part of the original structure, its fall would have damaged the statue's chin. There are also remnants of red pigment visible on parts of the Sphinx's face, with traces of yellow and blue pigment found elsewhere on the statue. This has led Mark Lenner to suggest that the Sphinx may have once been vividly painted in bright, bold colors. Many New Kingdom stele depict the Sphinx wearing a crown, and if such a crown existed, the hole in the head might have served as its anchoring point. Emile Barrais sealed this hole with a metal hatch in 1926. In 1926, under Barrais's direction, sand was cleared from the Sphinx, revealing a floor-level tunnel opening on the north side of its rump, which was later sealed and almost forgotten. Over 50 years later, 3 elderly workers who had helped during the clearing recalled the passage, leading to its rediscovery and excavation in 1980. The passage has an upper section that ascends for meters and ends in a niche, and a lower section that descends steeply into the bedrock and ends in a cul-de-sac at groundwater level. The lower part contained modern debris like tinfoil and ceramic fragments, suggesting the passage was cut from the top down, with the current access point added later. Weiss's diary from 1837 mentions boring near the tail, indicating he may have created the passage, although some believe it could be an ancient exploratory or unfinished tomb shaft. A 1925 photograph depicts a man standing below floor level in a niche within the Sphinx's core, which was sealed during the 1925-1926 restorations. Another possible hole may have been in the large masonry box on the Sphinx's south side. The area behind the dream stele, between the Sphinx's paws, was covered with an iron beam and cement roof, featuring an iron trapdoor. At the Sphinx enclosure's ledge, opposite the northern hind paw, a square shaft measuring 1.42 by 1.06 meters, 4.7 by 3.5 feet, and about 2 meters, 6.6 feet deep was cleared during the 1978 excavation by Hawass. Lenner believes it is an unfinished tomb, calling it the keyhole shaft due to cuttings above it resembling the lower part of an upside-down Victorian keyhole. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands as a testament to the ingenuity and artistry of ancient Egyptian civilization. As we marvel at this enduring wonder, we are reminded of the mysteries that still lie beneath the sands of time. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history and significance of the Great Sphinx of Giza. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating stories from the ancient world.